What's up, guys? It's Dave from UltraMegaDeathRay.com here, and I am presenting an all-new show format here for you. It is in direct correlation with Adam Sessler, Rev3 Games. This isn't me working with him in any sort of way, but it's a way for me to engage in conversation, since that's something I like to do more than anything, is to engage in hot topics. Basically, the idea of this show is that I'll be responding directly to the Sessler Something videos on the Rev3 Games channel. So without further ado, let's get right into ReasSESSment. So of course the first Sessler Something I'm responding to is a double question, so I'm going to give my take on both, starting with the value of games in correlation with their length. This topic specifically goes into the aspect of finding collectibles in a lot of modern-day games, such as finding feathers in Assassin's Creed or finding dog tags in Gears of War. I am of the opinion, personally, that these collectibles can be of value if there's some sort of tie-in to the story in some way, as opposed to just being some arbitrary thing that you're finding just because they're out there. A good example of this I remember is when you're playing Assassin's Creed 2, you can find these things called glyphs that are around the game world, in which each one that you find unlocks a small piece of a longer video which reveals more about the Assassins and Templars conflict. I found that part of the game really intriguing, actually, simply because each part of the video that you found just made you want to learn more as far as what actually happened. And also, each one that you found came with like a little puzzle they had to solve as well, which is pretty cool, like a nice little mix-up from the main game. Adam also mentioned in his video how this story-driven collectibles element is in Halo 4 as well, in which you have to go around finding these consoles, which reveals more of the story that's going on in the background. The only thing that kept me from being interested in that particular case is because I could really care less about the Halo storyline. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not really into the whole Halo lore thing. It just seems like basic sci-fi stuff to me. Let me just activate my flame shield here. In general, I want to say that the length of a game isn't necessarily a driving factor when assessing value for me, unless you're talking about like Kane and Lynch 2, for example, which was a $60 title when it first came out, and that's only a single-player experience that lasts for 4 hours from what I hear. For most people, I want to say that it's a balancing act between what it is that you're paying and what kind of experience that you hope to get out of the game. A clear-cut example of this would be Journey on the PlayStation Network, which sells for $15, and most people on average seem to beat that in 2 to 3 hours time. You almost never hear any complaints about the length of that game, simply because of the great experience that people have had with it. And hell, it hasn't won all those Game of the Year awards for nothing. Getting into the next topic at hand is the worry about Microsoft's silence on their next-gen console, which can be put to ease a little bit after their announcement that it will be revealed on May 21st. I have to admit, though, I was getting very anxious with what Microsoft was doing, allowing the PlayStation 4 to soak up all this attention unopposed. Thankfully, less than a month from now, we'll actually get some answers, and hopefully Microsoft has something in store for us that will prove to be good competition for Sony. As far as what I'm hoping to see at the event, I'd really like to see what kind of game lineup that Microsoft has in store this time around, as well as what kind of new and innovative features that the next console is going to have that will combat with the PlayStation 4's like share feature and just the overall sense of more integration with social media. It's very likely we'll see a feature of the next generation Kinect, so don't be too surprised about that. Although I am kind of curious to see what kind of improvements that they'll make, since it seemed like Harmonix was the only company to make full use of the peripheral through their Dance Central games. Depending on my working schedule, I'll try to get live commentary out to you guys during the reveal, much like how I did for the PlayStation 4 event, so be sure to look out on our Facebook and Twitter pages for that. Please be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, leave me feedback, let me know what you think of this new show format. And until next time, this is Dave from UltraMegaDeathRay.com. I'll catch you guys later.